Author Barbara Kellerman said, "Followers are more important to leaders than leaders are to followers." Now, a conversation about leadership must explore the notion of followership as well. And authors like Ira Chaliff, Barbara Kellerman, and Robert Kelly have written about the concept of followership for decades. Now, there's an appropriate time for each of the styles I'm about to discuss, and the key is intentionality and not defaulting to one style in all situations. One important question to consider is this. In a general sense, how do you want your supervisor to perceive you as a follower? Think about that as I discuss each of the followership styles. First is fully engaged, which is the most active and engaged followership style. Fully engaged followers view themselves as partners in the process. The fully engaged follower will likely have the difficult conversations with the leader, work above and beyond, and view themselves as all in. In essence, this is a positive form of followership, but pay close attention. Some leaders may not want partners in their space. The next style is opposed and open. You will most often notice this style of followership in public service. In the U.S., Republicans will openly disagree with Democrats and vice versa. Now, this can be good because at least there's transparency and everyone knows where the other individuals and factions stand. This style usually occurs in systems where people cannot be fired for voicing their concerns and criticism. However, this style is less common in organizational life where there are higher levels of fear. After all, jobs and/or careers could be on the line. Third, lazy and disengaged. These followers will rarely activate unless they're tapped, and even then, they might not contribute all that much to the group. This style is a passive form of followership, and for many groups, expendable. Their presence doesn't really add all that much value. Now, all of us are lazy and disengaged some of the time. In fact, at times, it's completely appropriate. Just be sure it's not your default style when it matters most. The fourth style is lone wolf. Few people truly understand the motives and alliances of the lone wolf. And while it seems they're on board, they are often focused on their agenda, whatever that might be. So I think about Michael Scott in the TV series The Office. He's a great example of a character who displays the tendencies of a lone wolf. Now, at times, working outside of the formal path can be reasonable and necessary. Just ensure you're doing so ethically and with intentionality. Next is opposed and underground. This style is extremely common in organizational life. Because of fear, employees rarely voice their unfiltered feelings about leaders, their leaders' ideas, and the limitations of the strategy the leader's chosen. Now, a sign of this style is a meeting after the meeting to gossip about the many reasons the plan won't work. Another indicator is when a supervisor offers a bad idea to the group and no one openly challenges their thinking. The final style is whatever you say. This individual is an implementer or a dutiful follower who rarely questions the authority figure. These individuals know their role and they move when activated. And while this style has its place, it can be used for great destruction as well. For instance, if the leader is morally corrupt, these individuals may find themselves doing the dirty work and ending up in jail. What's fascinating is that some people will combine these styles. So for instance, all of you watching this clip have come across the fully engaged, lazy, and disengaged follower. This is the person who shows up all in. They're enthused, excited, ready to go. And then they drop off. Their enthusiasm wanes, and you have a performance management challenge on your hands. So to conclude this quick lesson, I have 3 reflection questions for you. First, followers are often part of the problem when things are not going well. So how so? Second, when is it completely appropriate to use a whatever you say approach to followership? And third, when is it potentially dangerous to use a fully engaged style of followership? To conclude, all of us are followers some of the time. Pay close attention to the styles you see in your organization. You will be amazed at what unfolds before your eyes.